I'm Richard Bannan. I sang baritone in Choir 6 on ORA's new recording of Spem and Alium by Thomas Tallis. Spem is special. It's a huge privilege always to sing, because you get 40 of your mates, really talented, fantastic singers in a room together, which happens relatively infrequently. And it's always a great room. There are the sort of many acoustics that kind of really make performing something like Spem worthwhile. But at the same time, it's a little bit like a wedding. You sort of see the name of all of the people who are going to be there, and you kind of say hello to the people around you, and the other people in your choir, the people in the next choir, and then you see the photos a year later, and you kind of think, oh my God, were they there? So it's always got this lovely sort of sense of event as a professional singer, which doesn't happen every day. For a baritone in the midst of all of this beautiful singing and the kind of belly of the beast, it's really great. It's probably the closest I get as a singer to being a symphonic orchestral musician. There are not many pieces in the choral repertoire that call on such kind of vocal opulence. Every single singer is singing something slightly different at any given moment, and so that sheer weight of sound becomes almost overwhelming, and it's a fabulous thing to be in the middle of. It's probably a little bit what it's like kind of sitting at the back of the violas at the climax of Mahler 3 or something. It's not something I get to experience very, very regularly as a professional singer. Spem and Alium represents the culmination of the entire kind of Renaissance 16th century school of English polyphony. I think there's a real sense of why did Tallis write it? Tallis wrote it because he could, because he'd gotten that good. He'd mastered this extraordinary art of vocal polyphony to the extent that he could weave together 40 different lines, singing 40 different things, and deliver something that is at the same time incredibly beautiful and sophisticated, but also really thrilling to listen to. And certainly as a member of ORA, it represents this fabulous culmination of our work over the last 5-6 years of delivering these new commissions right back to the first things we looked at, kind of 5-6 years ago, up to now with this new piece of James Macmillan, and the fact we get to present that piece alongside Spem and Alium is a real privilege. Coronavirus has been really hard. As someone who sings as part of St George's Chapel Choir in Windsor, it's meant the kind of cessation of our daily rituals, and that's really difficult. It's meant that the entire kind of heartbeat of our existence, of our community, has been stopped indefinitely. I still don't know when we'll go back to singing even songs again, and that's really tricky. Something that has been a kind of integral part of my life right back to when I was a chorister, through university, and now as a professional. To just have it suddenly stopped has been very, very tricky. That's before you get into the kind of weekly grind of my life with vocal lessons and choral society rehearsals and all the other concerts and things that I do. It's been really, really difficult as a singer finding purpose through this time. At home, I listen to all sorts of things. I probably don't listen to nearly as much classical vocal music as you'd expect. The things on my Spotify playlist that get the most rotation are Taylor Swift and The Wiggles and Matilda the musical and Wicked and all sorts of other things that my children have unfortunately colonised. When I do wrest control of my own record collection from them, I listen to a lot of Bruce Springsteen. I listen to a lot of Manic Street Preachers, a lot of the Hold Steady. But also through this time, and kind of thinking about the work that hopefully I'll be doing soon when we get back up and running with vocal music in this country. I've been listening to a lot of big choral music that I don't necessarily get a chance to hear or indulge in a lot. So I've been listening to oratorios by George Dyson and Parry and Dvorak, with one eye on what I might be able to do with my Woking Choral Society and my chamber choir Petros Singers when we get back to work. So that's been really thrilling. I think my favourite Aura memory will be our first concerts at the Tower of London, and in particular the performance, the premieres of two items on our two tracks on our first CD, which would be Francis Potts' Laudate Dominum and Roderick Williams's Ave Verum reimagined. And those two pieces in particular were such kind of thrilling things to be involved with in rehearsal and in premiere, because they both create such kind of deep and colossal, demanding kind of vocal landscapes. And being part of those performances, thinking that we had delivered something kind of wonderful and brand new, and seeing the effect it had on the audience after those first performances, and then when the CD was well reviewed and when Roddy won that award was really kind of rewarding for us all to be part of that process. So that's what I hold dear to my Aura heart. Titanic.